You awaken beneath a ceiling of sand. For weeks, you have been waiting in the dark warmth, surrounded by siblings who pulse and twitch with the same ancient instinct. The world above vibrates with something you cannot name. Then, one night, the sand loosens, and you begin to dig. Grain by grain, your flippers push upward toward the moonlight that calls you like a silent voice older than time. You burst into the open air, and the cold rush of night greets your face for the first time. The scent of salt and sea pulls you forward. Around you, the beach is alive with movement, hundreds of tiny lives scrambling toward the same endless horizon. Seagulls circle above, crabs scuttle below, and for a moment, fear becomes your first teacher. You do not think, you only move. Every second is a race between birth and death. The sand burns your belly as you crawl, but the ocean glows like salvation. You feel the vibrations of wings and claws behind you, hear the cries of others disappearing in flashes of feathers. Still, you push forward. You are one heartbeat among thousands, and yet every heartbeat matters. The first wave reaches you, lifting your body for the first time, baptizing you in salt and motion. You belong here, and you don't even know why. The ocean accepts you, but not gently. The waves pull, twist, and drag you into their depths. For hours, you drift helplessly until instinct tells you to paddle. You swim toward the open sea, away from the light of the moon, into a darkness that will raise you or kill you. Out here, you are invisible. Out here, you begin your life. The days blur into weeks, and you learn the language of the ocean. You feed on tiny jellyfish and drifting algae, hiding among floating seaweed that becomes your nursery. You grow in silence, your small shell hardening, your strokes becoming stronger and more confident. The sea teaches you that survival is rhythm: swim, rest, hide, feed. You listen to the hum of distant whales and the faint crackle of coral reefs far away. You are not alone, though you live as if you were. Shadows pass above, fish, predators, and sometimes creatures made of metal that slice through the water with noise and light. You stay deep when they appear, feeling their presence in the vibrations of the water. The ocean has rules, and you obey them without knowing. Those who forget vanish. Your body changes as months become years. The world you once feared becomes your map. You begin to sense things others can't. The pull of invisible lines running through the planet itself. The earth whispers to you through its magnetic field, and somehow you understand. There's a signature written into your body, a memory of the beach where you were born. You don't know it yet, but one day, that memory will call you home. Sometimes you rest on the seabed, motionless for hours. Your heartbeat slows, your lungs seem to sleep. In those moments, the ocean feels eternal and you feel part of its breath. You don't yet know that you are one of the oldest souls of this planet, older than the mountains that border the continents, older than the storms that pass overhead. You are a living fossil that still remembers the age of giants. Hunger drives you to explore deeper waters. There, the ocean becomes colder and darker, a cathedral of silence. You chase jellyfish that drift like floating ghosts, their stings brushing against your skin. The hunt is clumsy at first, but you learn the slow art of patience. You learn that food comes to those who wait, and danger to those who rush. But danger finds you anyway. One day, a shadow bigger than anything you have ever seen glides beneath you. A tiger shark. Its movement is poetry written in hunger. You freeze, heart pounding so hard you feel it in your throat. You dive, twisting your shell downward, scraping the seafloor. The shark strikes, grazing your shell, but you survive. You will carry that scar forever, a reminder that even the strong are still prey. You lose companions too. Others who swam beside you vanish, swallowed by the same predators that chase you. The ocean is not cruel, it is honest. It takes what it must, gives what it can, and keeps moving. There is no mourning here, only continuation. You learn to swim alone because that is what your kind has always done. Still, life goes on. You begin to sense currents that guide you across continents. You ride them like invisible rivers, drifting from one world to another. Thousands of miles pass beneath your flippers. You have no map, no compass, only the magnetic heartbeat of the earth itself. You don't just live in the ocean, you navigate it. Now you are grown, your shell broad and strong, your muscles built from a lifetime of swimming. The sea is your kingdom, but it is also scarred. Strange objects float where waves once danced. Plastic bags drift like jellyfish, and once you bite one by mistake. It fills your throat with poison instead of life. You survive? Barely. But many others do not. Fishing nets stretch like silent traps across the water. You get tangled once, the thin lines slicing into your skin as you fight for breath. It takes hours of struggle before a wave breaks the line and sets you free. You remember that pain longer than the shark's bite. The ocean no longer feels infinite. It feels invaded. And yet, even in the midst of danger, there is beauty. Coral gardens sway beneath you, and rays of light paint the seabed gold. You find humor in small things, the way a curious fish follows your shadow, or the way bubbles tickle your nose when you rise to breathe. The ocean still gives you reasons to stay. If you're listening now, if my journey has reached you through this story, help the ocean live. Help me live. Subscribe to this channel so more voices of nature can be heard before they fall silent. Every story shared is another life remembered. Every view, every share, every word you speak in defense of the sea keeps this ancient rhythm alive. You are now a legend of your waters. Few creatures challenge you, and even the sharks pass by with quiet respect. You glide with the confidence of something timeless, your flippers cutting through the current like wings. You have learned the invisible paths that connect oceans, crossing from one continent to another as easily as birds cross the sky. You return to familiar feeding grounds where you once hid as a child. The seagrass fields wave in slow motion beneath you, and you graze like a guardian of balance. Without you, the grass would choke the reefs and suffocate the fish. You are not just part of the ocean, you sustain it. Every part of your body tells the story of survival. Your shell bears the marks of storms and predators, your eyes the calm of countless nights beneath the stars. Sometimes you rest on the ocean floor for hours, unmoving, your heartbeat a faint drum against eternity. Even without air, your heart endures, beating slowly, faithfully, as if it refuses to surrender. You have become what you were born to be, a keeper of the tides, an ancient navigator, a witness to the living memory of the planet. The earth turns, the seas shift, but your path remains the same. You are proof that life can be both fragile and unbreakable at once. One day, a force awakens inside you, the call of home. After decades adrift, you begin to swim toward a place you have never seen but have always known. Thousands of miles pass beneath you as you follow the magnetic pulse buried deep in your blood. Storms rage, waves tower, but you do not waver. You are returning to the beach where your story began. When you finally arrive, the moon hangs full above the shore, just as it did the night you were born. You drag your heavy body onto the sand, every movement echoing with memory. You dig carefully, instinct guiding every stroke. Inside the pit, you lay your eggs, your future, each one a fragile promise buried in time. As you cover the nest, your eyes glisten. The world says you're crying, but these are not tears of sorrow.
They are salt, the sea leaving your body through ancient glands that keep you alive. You breathe the night air deeply, exhausted but fulfilled. The waves call you back, and you obey. Somewhere inside the sand, new hearts begin to beat. You will never meet them, but they will carry your memory, your path, your pulse. The cycle continues, as it always has, as it always will, until the last turtle forgets the way home. The years stretch on, and your body slows.
The flippers that once carried you across oceans now move with effort. Barnacles grow on your shell, and small fish follow you like old friends. You no longer race the currents. You drift with them. The sea has become your mirror, calm, vast, and full of ghosts. You return once more to the warm shallows of your youth. The corals are fewer now, the water warmer. The balance of life feels thinner, as if the ocean itself is holding its breath. You rest on the sand, eyes half closed, letting the tide rock you like a cradle. For the first time, you feel the pull not to swim, but to stay. Your heart, that ancient metronome, slows. It will keep beating even after breath leaves your body, a final act of resistance in a life built on endurance. You are not afraid. You have seen the rise and fall of worlds, survived the silence of millennia, and danced with death more than once. The sea whispers your name, and you answer by letting go. When the waves cover you for the last time, the ocean keeps your secret. The currents will carry pieces of you across the world, your shell, your spirit, your story. And somewhere, on a distant beach, a hatchling will break through the sand, guided by the same magnetic call that once guided you. The circle closes and life begins again.